Introduction to A Diary from Dixie. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Laurie Anne Walden. A Diary from Dixie, as written by Mary Boykin Chesnut, wife of James Chesnut, Jr., United States Senator from South Carolina, 1859 to 1861, and afterward an aide to Jefferson Davis and a brigadier general in the Confederate Army. Edited by Isabella D. Martin and Myrta Lockett Avary. Introduction. The Author and Her Book. In Mrs. Chesnut's diary are vivid pictures of the social life that went on uninterruptedly in the midst of war, of the economic conditions that resulted from blockaded ports, of the manner in which the spirits of the people rose and fell with each victory or defeat, and of the momentous events that took place in Charleston, Montgomery, and Richmond. But the diary has an importance quite apart from the interest that lies in these pictures. Mrs. Chesnut was close to 40 years of age when the war began, and thus had lived through the most stirring scenes and the controversies that led to it. In this diary, as perhaps nowhere else in the literature of the war, will be found the Southern spirit of that time expressed in words which are not alone charming as literature, but genuinely human in their spontaneousness, their delightfully unconscious frankness. Her words are the farthest possible removed from anything deliberate, academic, or purely intellectual. They ring so true that they start echoes. The most uncompromising Northern heart can scarcely fail to be moved by their abounding sincerity, surcharged though it be with that old Southern fire which overwhelmed the army of McDowell at Bull Run. In making more clear the unyielding tenacity of the South, and the stern conditions in which the war was prosecuted, the diary has further importance. At the beginning there was no Southern leader, in so far as we can gather from Mrs. Chesnut's reports of her talks with them, who had any hope that the South would win in the end, provided the North should be able to enlist her full resources. The result, however, was that the South struck something like terror to many hearts, and raised serious expectations that two great European powers would recognize her independence. The South fought as long as she had any soldiers left who were capable of fighting, and at last robbed the cradle and the grave. Nothing then remained except to wait for another generation to grow up. The North, so far as her stock of men of fighting age was concerned, had done scarcely more than make a beginning, while the South was virtually exhausted when the war was half over. Unlike the South, the North was never reduced to extremities which led the wives of cabinet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?